The biggest station in the world, playing all of today's hits. You're listening to Instinct Radio.
Hey, it's your girl Kandie. Once again, it's Second Sunday. So we're back, and today we're going to have a vegan Thanksgiving. So we're going to have Miss Tessalia. I'm still saying it wrong. Tessili. Okay, I'm going to get it right one day. But we're going to have her come out today and tell us all about her vegan restaurant right here in Atlanta, Georgia. You know your girl still need chicken. But we're going to do something a little different today and talk about how they do it vegan style. So put your hats down, sit your butt down, and enjoy the ride with me, your girl Kandie. We'll be back in 2 seconds.
The biggest station in the world, playing all of today's hits. You're listening to Instinct Radio.
I'm way far from perfect. Your trust, I don't deserve it, but I'm not gonna play with you. We've been on and off lately, but don't hesitate, please, cause I don't want someone new. I don't wanna see you with no one else. Girl, that's all mine, I want it all to myself. I got trust issues, can you give me some help? I want you, baby girl, is that hard to tell? Oh, oh, oh. Just tryna get close to you. Oh yeah, tryna get close to you. Oh baby, I'm tryna get close to you. I've been inconsistent, ignoring your feelings. I'm so inconsiderate. You're questioning Raina and even Sharia, but please don't be so upset. Why you throwing all this upset me? Girl, just be sure and let go of your insecurities. I cheated, but two girls can be my baby. Girl, don't give up, can you just promise you won't leave? Oh. Just tryna get close to you. Oh yeah, tryna get close to you. Oh baby, I'm tryna get close to you. Oh, oh, oh. There comes a time in life where I gotta show you how I feel. I know you're hurt, but I put you first. Can we just make it work? Can you tell me how you feel now? Can you tell me how you feel? Girl, you know that I love you, baby. Tryna show you something real. Girl, just know that I got you. Won't do nothing to hurt you. Put nobody above. Girl, you know that I love you. Just tryna get close to you. Oh yeah, tryna get close to you. Oh baby, I'm tryna get close to you.
The biggest station in the world, playing all of today's hits. You're listening to Instinct Radio.
Hey, and we're back. Shout out to Joshua Hawkins. You know, that Trying to Get Close to You song is still a hit with us. So let's get into the shop topics for this month. So you know how I do. I always got shop topics. Just stupid stuff that I find on the internet. There's actually real life stuff that's happening. So let's head over to Lakeland, Florida. So it was a woman charged with a DUI. I know y'all saying like, so, you know what I'm saying? But this woman was actually driving a horse. You heard me right. A horse. So, Donna Bine, remember that. 53 years old. She decided she want to get drunk and get on her horse. And don't ask me why. I'm still trying to figure out why she got on the horse. But needless to say, you know what happened. People snatched on her. You know, she just went out there and, the police actually saw something. Somebody had to snitch. So they snitched on her, called the police. Police pulled her over. Yeah, with the horse. I'm trying to figure out if the horse was drunk too. But yeah, so they pulled her over and she had a 1.61 blood alcohol level. So in Florida it's 0.08, right? So girlfriend was blasted. But I'm still trying to figure out, was the horse drunk? Because normally if you get on the horse and you just sit in the saddle, as long as you ain't pulling on them reins too much, they go where, they're going to go where they got to go. So if the horse was spinning around with her, she might have gave him some of that too. So you already know. Check out Kandie Undisputed. I'm going to put it over in there so you can actually read it for yourself and see see the picture of Miss Girl. Yeah. 53, you should know better. Okay? So now we're going to go over to Littleton, Colorado. Okay? So in Littleton, this happened Friday, okay? So Friday, they didn't name the hockey coach, but it was a hockey coach. And he got fired. So I know y'all trying to figure out why I'm bringing this up to you. It's a hockey coach. He got fired. People get fired from a job all the time. Well, Mr. Hockey Coach decided he was going to give a pep talk to his team. Now, remind you, these children are under the age of 14. And he was cursing at them.
You big dummy.
Exactly. So, first of all, you shouldn't be cursing at no children, and especially somebody else's children. Okay? So you thought you were going to keep a job after you did that, and everybody filming everything. So you already know. They got it on film, so yeah, that'll be in there too. You get to see all of it. Everything he said to the little children and everything. Even the children were trying to stop him from cursing. So you had to be doing this a lot for somebody to decide they want to film you and show it. So, shout out to the dummy of the month, Mr. Coach, whatever your name is. Hope you can find a job. Stop cursing at other folks' children. And our last shock topic for today, we're going to roll over to Houston, Texas. This happened October 16th. So, we had a robbery at a donut shop. And they took the money, cash register. They still at large right now. But I want you to see what they actually did, what made this a stupid topic for me to bring up. Oracle, can you play the video? Okay. So once again, it's something stupid that people do. First of all, you robbing a dang on donut shop, but you gonna you gonna join the hospitality community and hand out donuts on top of that. That just, oh my God! When I seen it, I couldn't do nothing but I laughed for like 30 minutes at that. I kept rewinding them like, did he really give them a donut? See, he took their phones. He turned around and gave them their phone back. And he gave them some donuts. So, at least, Dunkin' Donuts or whoever it was that got robbed, they're going to make a couple of dollars off of them 2 donuts that they got given out by the robber, because he didn't take their money. He just took the money out of the cash register. So those are our shot topics for today. Check out Kandie Undisputed on Facebook.com /Kandie Undisputed, and you will find everything that I have mentioned today, along with any other thing that I have going on in there. We're going to be back in 2 seconds.
Playing all of today's hits. You're listening to Instinct Radio.
I'm way far from perfect. Your trust, I don't deserve it, but I'm not gonna play with you. We've been on and off lately, but don't hesitate, please, cause I don't want someone new. I don't wanna see you with no one else. Girl, that's all mine, I want it all to myself. I got trust issues, can you give me some help? I want you, baby girl, is that hard to tell? Oh, 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 oh. Just tryna get close to you. Oh yeah, tryna get close to you. Oh baby, I'm tryna get close to you. I've been inconsistent, ignoring your feelings. I'm so inconsiderate. You're questioning Raina and even Sharia, but please don't be so upset. Why you throwing all this upset me? Girl, just be sure and let go of your insecurities. I cheated, but 2 girls can be my baby. Girl, don't give up, can you just promise you won't leave? Oh, just tryna get close to you. Oh yeah, tryna get close to you. Oh baby, I'm tryna get close to you.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're now tuning into the very best. It's yours truly, Jazzy Fizzle, Fizzle, Fizzle. And this is Instinct Radio, man. Tune in, baby. Oh, boy.
Oh boy, and we're back. And you see this beautiful lady right here. This is our special guest today, Miss Tassili Maat.
All right, you did that right.
Hey, I got it right. Every once in a while, a country girl do something correctly. But I want to welcome you to our show, and I want you to tell the viewers exactly who you are and where your restaurant is.
Okay, my name is Tassili Maat, and I am the owner and creative inspiration behind Tassili's Raw Reality Cafe, which is located in the historic West End at 1059 Ralph David Abernathy Boulevard.
All right, so that's what I'm talking about right here in the A,
That's
know.
right.
So we had I picked your restaurant because we did have some of our other show hosts that have been to your restaurant. So I was like, it's close to our location, and I wanted to bring you in because not a vegan, but I got my friend over there. She gonna be the amen section on this. We tried to be vegan for a couple of weeks. I probably lasted about a half a day. I needed some chicken. I was what was it, the Daniel's fast? I fastly found me some meat. I ain't saying that I can't do it. I'm saying I can't do it. But I'm always trying to find healthier ways of eating and finding different. I'm always looking for health. I'm health conscious, so I'm always looking for stuff like what can we do. So it's I want to look into vegan dishes, but not necessarily be vegan. You know what I'm saying? I want to find some, alternatives to certain things. So that was the reason why I wanted you to come, because with Thanksgiving coming up in a few weeks, won't be no turkey. So it's like, how long have you been a vegan and what made you become a vegan?
Well, I've been a vegan for 30 years, and I've been a raw foodist for going on 10 years. And what made me become vegan back in the day was initially when I was in college, and some friends of mine who were vegetarian told me about the cruelty that the animals were being subjected to at the time. And so I had pets, and I couldn't imagine somebody mistreating my pets, animals that are defenseless, and the cruelty that they're subjected to. It's like animal slavery, if you will. It's horrible. And for what? We don't have to have animals necessarily to survive like that. So at the time, I didn't know any of the health benefits or the spiritual benefits from it. I just protested the fact that they were being mistreated. So initially, I stopped eating red meat and then went to cutting back on fish and cutting back on dairy. And finally, when I moved to Atlanta 30 years ago, I made the switch. And a lot of times it's easier to make transitions when the weather changes or when you move or you're starting something else new. So, the energy is fresh. And so for me, it's a lifestyle. And I became a raw foodist 10 years ago, although I learned about it back in the mid-'80s. I was trained by one of the founding fathers of the raw food movement. His name is Dr. Aris Lathan, and he had been a raw foodist since the 70s. And at the time, I was still eating fish and chicken. I was a hardcore sugar addict, and, I had hoped one day to just be vegetarian. But about 10 years ago, I started experiencing the onset of arthritis. And at the time, I was a natural hair care specialist. I did locks, twists, braids, all of that, and had actually done that for over 30 years, raised my children as, self-employed natural hair care specialist. And so, something goes wrong with your hands, and you make your living with your hands. And my two younger ones were still at home. They were teenagers. So I knew I was going to have to do something different. So I talked to a friend of mine who is an MD and a naturopath and an herbalist, and he's also a raw foodist. And when I told him what my symptoms were, he said, well, it's the starch. And I said, well, I don't eat this, I don't eat that, I only eat a little bit of this. He said, well, I don't know what you're doing, but I know it's the starch. So because I'm a scientist, I said, well, let me see. So I went for a whole week without starches, and I learned two things. One, that a lot of the food we eat is starchy. Even carrots and beets are starchy. So having that with rice or potatoes or what have you, and then if you sprinkle nuts and this kind of thing on it, or gravy, what have you, you're adding compound starches. And if you're not eating enough fresh leafy greens to balance it out, then you become what I had become, which was a starchitarian. So even though, I wasn't eating meat, I was still not being healthy. So the second thing I learned was that he was right. After a week, all the pain and stiffness left. Yeah, and so of course I did like most of us. I was like, "Yay, I'm cured!" So now I'm gonna make some spaghetti. And so I made the spaghetti, and of course we had leftovers. And after eating it for the third day in a row, the pain and stiffness was back.
Oh wow!
Right. Okay. So I was like, "Okay, this is real. These are facts." Exactly. Okay, so now I got to do something different. And that's when I began to explore the raw food lifestyle, and I call it a live it instead of a diet, because we're eating to live instead of eating to die.
Right. Okay, cool. So can you explain the difference between, because I know, everybody has their, interpretation of what stuff mean, but can you tell people the difference between vegetarian, vegan, and
Yeah, thank you for that opportunity, because a lot of times people say, "Oh, I'm vegan." Sometimes I'm like, no. And the reason why, let me start out by saying, the reason why vegans are very particular about making that distinction is because it's a discipline. And you could be vegetarian and still do dairy and eggs and that kind of thing. And then there's a whole category called flexitarian, which I learned by some people who consider themselves to be flexitarians, which doesn't mean they're trying to flex. It just means they're flexible. So, so I initially started out as an omnivore, meaning I would eat anything. I ate anything and everything. That's why I can't really feel no way when people eat what they do, because I know what that is. And in fact, as a child, I probably would have been a child diabetic, because I had cereal and milk with my sugar, but back then we went outside. You ate and then you went outside. You could not come back in the house except to use the bathroom, to eat lunch, and then you had to go back outside again. So we ran all that sugar out. And so that's how that started. But I began to be interested in being a vegetarian as I was introduced to it by some Seventh-day Adventist family friends of ours. Right. So over the years, my curiosity sparked. And I found that a vegetarian is someone that will still eat animal byproducts, but not actually flesh. A pescatarian is someone that will still eat fish. Again, a flexitarian, though, is someone that is flexible. They pride themselves in eating the best quality of whatever it is they eat. So they're going to have your organic stuff, your free range. If they're going to have some beef, I promise you the cow was walking around on the field, or somebody went and shot the deer, or, something like that. They're the ones that they're going to have the raw milk. They're going to have the best quality of whatever it is. Okay, but eat whatever they want. Okay, within balance. So then a vegan is someone that eats no animal byproducts. And some vegans don't even ingest honey because it's from insects. And so it just depends on the discipline level, how strict they're choosing to be. And then you have your raw foodists who eat anywhere from 90 to 100% raw, meaning it's not cooked. And that's what my restaurant is. You have your fruitarians, your liquidarians, and then, of course, your breatharians. Yeah.
It's a whole bunch of Aryans and all kind of stuff.
Oh, I forgot. And our favorite in this society, the carnivore. The ones who don't necessarily eat anything and everything, but their diet is meat-based. And, something I love sharing with people, and it is that even though we are a raw vegan vegetarian, 65 to 70% of our customer base still eats meat. Right. They're the ones that keep our doors open. Not the raw foodies, not the vegan, not the vegetarian.
Okay.
It is the flexitarian and the carnivore, people who actually want to be healthier. And so they use our food to supplement their diet, because I'm of a mindset that it doesn't matter how healthy the food is. If it doesn't taste good, nobody's going to eat it. So we make sure that deliciousness is our destination. You know what I'm saying? So we start with the best quality of everything we can find. And from there, the focus is to make it delicious.
All right.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's what I'm talking about all
See,
day
that's
long.
This
See?
is why I picked her. See, all you got to do is just look and see how many people have been there, because I know everybody that was on the list from here still eat meat. I seen them do it.
For sure. And the vibe is this, some vegetarian places the people are judgmental.
Right.
And I've been a vegan snob, so I know what that is, to flip the script. And it's really being hypocritical, because back in the day when people used to tease me about eating rabbit food or grass, then I would be doing the same thing. Me and my friends, we would be like, oh, yeah, well, they eat meat, so you know how they are, but it's not really about that when you're dealing with the quality of the people in your life. Right. Because I came to recognize that there were some very wicked vegans or vegetarians and some very divine pork eaters. And I had to really check myself and see where were my values. And the people that were supporting me at that time, particularly with my hair business, were people that ate anything and everything, and they were waking up. They were trying to be woke. They wanted to be able to learn what it was to be healthy, to learn what it was to be natural, because, again, when I started doing hair, sisters were getting fired for braids, much less locks, and some of the styles that our women will wear nowadays. And brothers, it was unheard of. So, being able to be in a safe environment where people can ask questions, where they can experiment, is so important because, this society is all about everybody fitting a particular mold.
Exactly.
And is not healthy.
Exactly. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. So one of the things that I want the viewers to know, how long has your restaurant been in business here in Atlanta?
Well, I've had my business, Tassili's Raw Reality, for 10 years. We've been at 1059 Ralph David Abernathy for 7 years, so at the end of this year. So we're very excited about it. When I started my business in 2008, that's when President Obama was, coming into office, and people were so euphoric, that things were going to change. But I promise you, everybody hated on me. Everybody that had any kind of money and support, they were, you can't do that. A restaurant is the hardest business to have. You can't do that. You can't do that. What? And vegetarian? What? No, nobody's going to come. And raw? What? You must be crazy. And I, have to just say, dust it off a little bit. I've always been the exception to the rule.
Exactly.
I've always
she is
been,
Neo.
Yeah.
She is the one.
That's what, Jay-Z is one of my inspirations. He talks about busting through glass ceilings and knocking down closed doors. Well, I know what that is because making $1 out of 15 cents is real when you talk about the raw reality. My business was started in the community. It's supported by the community. We nurture the community, and it's sustained 100% by the community. So even though there are people that come from all over the city, we're even a destination for people who have layovers in Atlanta. They'll look us up. They'll take an Uber, come to the restaurant, get their food, go back to the airport. I've had people tell me they've rerouted their flights so they could come through the A just so they could get the food and then get back on the plane. Okay. So, that kind of love,
that's good.
Is something that I definitely don't take lightly.
Exactly.
It's an incredible experience to be able to be so loved. And I know it's because we put love in the food. That's our main ingredient.
There you go.
That's
there
it.
you go. So tell us about the events that you have at your restaurant, because it's not just a restaurant.
No. We feed not only the body, but the mind, spirit, and soul, too. So, I'm not a religious person. I respect all paths that lead to the one. There's only one creator. It's known by many names, but there's one creator, and there are myriad of ways in which people can worship and fellowship. So out of respect, I say if the root of the religion is love, then I'm all about that life, And so love being our main ingredient allows me to use the food as medicine. So when people come in, they feel like the restaurant is an oasis in the middle of the urban desert. The environment is one where they find comfort. They hear good music. There are other people. There are positive vibes. There's art from local artists on the walls. And then we offer classes. We offer uncooking classes. We offer classes on how to strengthen oneself financially. We have a variety of yoga classes. We have classes that promote political awareness. We have 2 festivals. One in the spring, the first weekend of June. It's actually late spring. It's called The Wonderful Wizards of Raw. And we showcase raw food and chefs and aspiring chefs. It's free to the public. They get a chance to come and sample, and then they could purchase food. And then there are also chefs and a variety of healers that use food as medicine, so that not only do people have the option of coming to purchase the food already prepared, but they can learn how to do it themselves. They can learn how to avoid going to the doctor. Because ultimately, do you want to work so hard and make all that money, and then all you doing is giving it back to the doctor, the pharmaceuticals, the hospitals, try to get insurance, and your copay is astronomical, if you can even qualify for insurance, thanks to y'all's president. And, my
No,
thing
y'all's.
here, yeah, you heard that, right?
She said it
I said
strong,
it,
too.
yeah, I'm clear. The Most High is my leader.
There you go.
Okay, I follow universal law. I'm also clear, though, I pay homage to Caesar because I recognize we still in Rome, but I don't want to get too deep into politics. I just say that right now, I support the movement that says we were born to do more than just pay bills. What is your life's purpose? So frequently I'll pass through the restaurant and I'll ask people, have they thought about 10 things that they're grateful for? 10 things that they didn't do themselves, like wake up in the morning, like their blood isn't running out their toes, it's circulating. Like they didn't even tell their heart to beat and it's already happening. They didn't tell the trees to produce air. You know what I'm saying? And these are just things that we take for granted. But in fact, these are blessings that are supplied by universal law. And the more grateful we are, the more prosperous we can become. And truly, our financial well-being goes hand in hand with our nutritional, physical well-being, because the new warfare is biological and chemical. The toxins are being dumped in our communities. If you say go to a Kroger over in the West End, the first thing you see, cakes, soda, potato chips, and then the pharmacy. Then you see the flowers. Then you see the vegetables and fruit. And then the health food section is tucked way in the back. But you go to the Kroger over there on Moreland or on Piedmont, and the first thing you see when you walk in, the fruits, the vegetables, the flowers, all of that, because the corporate offices target particular shoppers, and they target our people. So I'm never happy when I see a new Church's or Popeyes or McDonald's in our community, or a new soul food place that's promoting ribs and those kind of things. Why? Because our people lead the country in diabetes, heart disease, high blood pressure, tumors, fibroid cysts, Alzheimer's, you name it. We got it going on right at the top of the list. And it doesn't have to be. Because black people used to be the healthiest people on the planet. Now we're the sickest, and it's by design. That's true. And ain't nobody going to ride up on a white horse or a black horse and save us. Nobody's flying through the sky with a cape. If you're not taking your own health into your own hands and providing what's natural, what nourishes the body for your family, then you just become a ward of the state, basically, And that means then ultimately you're working to pay bills. Exactly. And again, weren't you born to do more than that?
How about that? Okay, that's what I'm talking about. She's speaking on it, ain't she? Yeah, see, I told y'all, every time you come to my show, it's something different. And we speaking on some stuff. We not just coming up here playing around. We actually trying to teach you guys something. It's not just the, everybody always say it's the liquor stores and stuff on every corner in our community, but it's more to it than just that. She just told you. You probably didn't even pay it any attention till she said it. You know what I'm saying? Because once she said it, you actually was like, you right. You know what I'm saying? You right. It's according on what community you're in for, even with the grocery stores, right. So you got to look at all of that, I tell my daughter all the times, like, we going to the white folks, we going to the white folks Walmart, and it's a reason for that, because they have better selections and stuff like that, and I hate to say it like that, but it's true. So
what I have found in being a community activist, though, is if you talk to the people at the store, they're responsive. I like actually shopping in the hood, because there is this misnomer that you can't find any nutrition in the hood. That's not true. If you know what to buy and how to prepare it, you can find it. It's there. But when people don't want to drink water, when they don't want to eat anything green, when their idea of healthy is ramen noodles, no. And then you wonder why you got arthritis and why you can't move and why men have to take Viagra at 30. What? Or why women are having breast cancer at 25. What? Why are our children shooting up insulin at 8? What is that about? Why do you see our people rolling around on those chairs in Kroger and everything in their basket is soda and cookies and potato chips? You could cry white folks all day long.
But you got to take care of
You got to, they ain't doing nothing to us.
Right.
They just set the stage. We are in full effect, the actors in our life. It ain't nobody putting that stuff in our mouth but us. And it's generational. And, you know, one of the things I say to people, because my grandmother used to say to me back in the day, when I first was trying to eat healthier, and she was mad because I wouldn't let my children have greens with ham hock in it. And we were still eating chicken, but she was like, and your children are skinny. And, you know, I said, no, they're healthy. You know, she's like, no, they skinny. And, you know, I said, but they go to the doctor for a checkup once a year. We don't live at the doctor. Right. So anyway, we went back and forth, right? So no disrespect to my grandmama, but, you know, I said, no, they can't have greens with the ham hock in it. Right. So I left the room. Something said, turn around.
She was feeding
Turn back around. She's putting the collars on their plate.
Yep.
I said, Grandmama, I just asked you, why would you want to do that? So she went in on me, right?
Oh, my God.
That was good enough for you. You think you better than everybody else. Okay. Your mama, your daddy, your cousin, everybody used to eat this. They still eat it. What's wrong with you? So, you know, back in the day, you definitely don't talk back.
Exactly.
You going to stand there and listen.
Exactly.
And wait until you sure that they're done, because you're going to find yourself picking yourself up off the floor. There was no such thing as child abuse for getting a butt whooping.
Right.
Okay? Now, after she finished, I said, Grandmama, in my softest voice.
She said softest.
My softest voice. I said, you know, it's true, but, you know, when you know better, you can do better. I said, y'all used to raise your hogs yourself. You raised your cows. You raised your chickens. You still have a garden in your backyard. Y'all had fresh air. Y'all had clean water. Y'all worked from can't see in the morning to can't see at night. You clean white folks' houses. Granddaddy moves furniture. You sweating that stuff out. Don't nobody work that hard nowadays. Nobody. Stop it.
Yeah. And a lot of people don't raise their own animals, because just like you were saying, when I was
Nobody.
growing up, we used to have chickens. We used to have our own chicken coop in the backyard. We used to get we used to have the Neelys. The Neelys used to have all of the hogs and the cows and stuff like that. So we would get everything fresh. So when I say I'm country, I'm actually country.
So you know what it
so
is.
I know all about that.
I remember a conversation my mother had with one of her friends when the eggs changed. Because her friend said, have you noticed that eggs don't spoil anymore? And my mother was like, no, I haven't been paying attention. She said, yeah. She said, think about it. She said, you couldn't keep an egg more than 2 or 3 days before it was spoiled. It was rotten. Yep. Now an egg will sit in your refrigerator for 3 months. Yep. I'm scared. Exactly. Okay? Scared. Because if it's doing that in your refrigerator, what do you think it's doing in your body? Okay, so this is just some food for thought. People want to talk about being woke. It ain't rocket science.
Exactly.
It isn't. Exactly. And so, you know, one of the things I say to people is that back in slavery times, back in the day, we had to make something out of nothing. True. We had to. Big Mama, Uncle Joe, Aunt Bessie, they took the entrails, the slop, the leftovers from Master's table, and they made something out of nothing. And they made it taste good because they had good herbs. They still had fresh herbs. They still had fresh vegetables. And they put love in it. And when people are picking cotton or sugar cane or indigo or whatever they was, tobacco, you had to have that heavy food that was going to stick to your ribs or you were going to pass out. And then you was going to get beat for passing out. Exactly. So let's keep it real. And nobody works that hard anymore.
That's true.
So we have to change with the times. Right. That's all I'm saying. Yes. And if you raise your own animals, you would know what you're feeding them. Or better yet, if you hunted your own deer or went out and caught your own fish. That's true. you will have a different level of respect for the life that's given its life so you could sustain yours.
All right. We coming up on the top of the hour. We're going to take us a break, and we're going to come back and talk some more. You know,
That's what's up.
if you have any questions, make sure you call 478-569-6474. I know the number. I don't know why I can't never come up with this number when I need to come up with this number. But anyway, call us. You can text. So if you don't want nobody to hear your voice, you can actually text that number, 478-569-6474. And, you know, let us know what you think about today's conversation. When I'm telling you she waking you up, she is waking you up. We're going to come back and talk some more to her. Might pull some more people that's in the audience out here just to see what they're going to have to say about, you know, and if they got any questions about what's going on. So, you know, the Oracle is in the building taking care of us as usual. So we're going to be back in about 5 minutes.
And that's what's up. Thank you, Kandie.
The biggest station in the world, playing all of today's hits. You're listening to Instinct Radio.
I want you, baby girl, is that hard to tell? Oh, just trying to get close to you. Oh yeah, trying to get close to you. Oh baby, I'm trying to get close to you. I've been inconsistent, ignoring your feelings. I'm so inconsiderate. You're questioning Raina and even Sharia, but please don't be so upset. Why throwing all this upset me? Girl, just be sure and let go of your insecurities. I cheated, but two girls can't be my baby. Girl, don't give up, can you just promise you won't leave? Oh, just trying to get close to you. Oh yeah, trying to get close to you. Oh baby, I'm trying to get close to you. Oh, there comes a time in life where I gotta show you how I feel. I know you're hurt, but I put you first. Can we just make it work? Can you tell me how you feel now? Can you tell me how you feel? Girl, you know that I love you, baby. Tryna show you something real. Girl, just know that I got you. Won't do nothing to hurt you. Put nobody above. Girl, you know that I love you. Just tryna get close to you. Oh yeah, tryna get close to you. Oh baby, I'm tryna get close to you.
So, Jazz, have you met the child that's been born with your husband, Sandor?
No.
Oh, really? What about the child's mother?
No, I haven't met her either.
Haven't met her?
Nope.
Well, it seems like sources tell us that you know her all too well.
What you mean?
Our sources say that it's none other than our new person who has joined us today, and that's Miss Skinny Minnie here.
See, they got that all wrong because me and Skinny Man are friends, you know. That's how my husband knows her, but they just got that mixed up.
No, ma'am. Why don't you just ask her?
It ain't even ask her because we
Skinny
friends.
Minnie.
We used to work
Well, I'll
together.
ask her, Skinny Minnie.
Yes, ma'am, Miss Ross.
She's a hoe.
Is it true what people say that you and Sandor have been sleeping together?
Could
and
you
it's
please
his
tell
child?
this woman it's
Yes,
not true?
it is actually true.
Okay.
Me and Sandor have
Bam.
been together.
What you mean you been sleeping with my husband?
Yes, me and Sandor have a baby by each other.
Bam.
Oh, hell no. See, you supposed to be my friend.
Supposed to be.
Supposed to be, but
Morning breath, calm down.
Calm down.
I told you,
your husband knew this, but he kept it from you.
Yeah, I'm trying to tell you that you
You were supposed to be my friend, so how you gonna sit
I
out
was supposed to be
Get
your
it
friend.
ain't nothing but a
You
hoe.
shut up and be my friend.
That's all you is a hoe. What's your problem? How you?
And welcome back to the April Ross Show. We're here with the reunion of the Housewives of Alabama. And I tell you, after the fire extinguisher was here today, and my God, and firemen on the scene, but we made it through. We made it through. Now we've been joined by Pastor Eddie, and we do have your lovely, ex-wife here, Minister Cherry. And Minister Cherry, let's go back to the scene where we had, where you were at Jazz and Sandora's house.
Do we really have to? Because this helper sitting beside me and I got my shoes off.
Well, yeah, we want to know how did you feel about all the drama.
Keep on.
That
Now, I always been
happened.
alerted to fruit.
Okay, hey, we don't have to listen. We've already had a wig on fire today.
That bitch deserve her wig on fire.
And we're
Now,
about to get up, a brain's about to get a button.
okay. Well, how did you feel about that night, though?
I was very upset about seeing Eddie there. Very upset. I cannot believe Patty did that. But that's what you expect from a little old witch.
Is it because you still love Eddie?
No.
She loves you? Really?
She always will.
Well, tell us what happened. What really happened?
Well, she say that I was seeing one of the.
She stay?
She said.
No,
that
he was.
Okay.
A young white floozy. No
Well,
offense.
Well, we know how Carrie feel about her coming.
I was just counseling her. That's all. I was counseling her.
In the bedroom? You said counseling?
In the bedroom?
In the bedroom? Really?
That's my kind of counseling.
How you go down there and man doing? I can't wait till I get some
You
doing.
were counseling
Hey, you need her coming out here.
in the bedroom, Eddie. Huh?
You can't let your imagination run with you. know.
It looks like you were trying to make your imagination run on whatever y'all were doing in the bedroom. What was y'all doing? Role playing? You were counseling and she was
I was
what?
trying to show
Go
some
y'all
things that
ask
her
me if
husband
he
was
gave
doing
that
wrong.
babies around that you don't know that about.
I was just trying to show her what her husband
You
was
tried to
doing
show
wrong.
her instead of tell her.
Yeah, because some people, you know, they can understand it better when you
Really?
show them.
Did you?
Oh, okay.
That's right, Pastor.
Pastor, we like to get showed on, man.
Oh, then.
You already showing enough. Now her show that Patty.
Well, Pastor, how many of these counselings have you done with?
I've done several counseling sessions. She just came in on that one.
She just happened to catch you.
Yeah.
Catch
And
you.
it wasn't what you thought it was. What you thought you saw, you didn't really see.
Oh,
That.
I'm blind.
Well, Patty, how is your relationship with Minister Cherry at this time?
This is how
I don't like that
she
bitch.
said one.
Like her. I don't like her.
I need my Bible. I need my Bible.
I don't like her.
So bless God.
Oh, bless God.
Say it, so bless God.
Oh, bless God.
Yes, now calm down.
Oh, bless
All
God.
right, girl. Just
Well,
pray.
Miss April, you know, I know you the host and everything, but I want some clarification too now.
Okay, what's the clarification?
Come my granddaughter Sierra, I told you when I ain't at home, she be at home, she watch for me. And she told me that she saw Eddie go over there to Cherry House. So I want to know.
When was this?
See, that was 2 weeks ago, so I want to know how they mess around.
Okay.
We was
That's
having a
shedding some
counseling
light.
session.
Oh.
One of your counseling sessions?
Well, I just had to lay my hands on it.
Yes. I needed some prayer. After leaving from your house.
Did you need
Wait a
prayer?
minute. Wait a minute, D. Ain't you the same one that just told me not to go to his church because he don't go down there to dog?
Exactly.
So why you call him for some counseling?
I've been trying to tell you, this bitch is wicked. I'm trying to tell you.
Some special. So you got some
What's really going on here between you guys? What is it a divorce? Are you guys finished? Or he's able to just hit it and quit it when he gets ready? What is
wants
it?
some cherry
when he get ready.
Is he popping the cherry? Nancy Cherry. Is he popping the cherry? Everybody wants to know.
Since she won't answer the question, she won't answer it.
April.
Are you popping that cherry?
Yes, he popped the cherry.
Bang, 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 bang.
Can we go to a break?
No, we're not going to.
I think that's
That special attention you got.
Gosh.
Oh, let's go. Let's go.
You should have told her to say no. You should have told her to just say no.
So she's lying. She's been lying.
She been lying.
Well, I wouldn't call it.
How do you know? Baby, shut up. Shut up. You shut up. You don't say something. You don't tell me. You don't tell me. Sarah, so let's go. So let's go.
You pregnant. You always show me yourself.
Pregnant, and God knows who the baby is, because we don't.
Yeah,
Anyway.
keep your leg closed, man. I don't want to see it again.
Oh my God.
Who is you pregnant by?
Probably Pastor Eddie.
Well, you need to keep your legs closed to married men. My legs ain't closed.
And welcome back to the reunion show of the Housewives of Alabama. Welcome to the April Ross Show, and we've been joined by Sandor. How are you today?
I'm good, you?
And you ain't good.
Your name has been brought up quite a bit today, and we need some explanations for
Damn
you, sir.
sure do, April.
All right. It's been said that you and Miss Skinny Minnie.
That bitch.
Oh. Skinny Minnie.
It ain't, I don't see
have
shit funny.
the baby together. Is that true?
Yes, we did.
Hey, you didn't tell me.
Yeah, before your time, nigga.
What the hell that mean? That's supposed to be my friend. See, that's why you didn't want me to bring her to the housewarming party. That's what that shit was.
Whatever.
Yeah.
You called
you know
her
what?
name. This is your
I got your ass.
How are you gonna make this right between the ladies? They're friends.
Ain't right. Cause after we leave from here, I'm gonna whoop that bitch ass as soon as
I'm
I
sorry,
get
the
a chance.
question was for him though.
I don't care. That's still my husband. Please tell me.
She knows.
I mean, don't try to act all shy now. You weren't shy when you were in her panties. So.
Damn sure.
It is straight. Why don't act shy now?
Hey, we're going to start hanging out.
She keeps it real, though.
She keeps it real.
She does.
She keeps it
It seems like Cat got your tongue, but really Skinny Minnie had your tongue all over her body.
I ain't gonna tell me what else the fuck she had. So what the hell was? Why you couldn't tell me this when I got with you? When you knew that me and her was friends, you seen us together.
Are you taking care of this child?
Yes, I am.
Jazz, what do you say about that?
That's okay. He can take care of that child because his ass gonna be out there on the street with her. Because I ain't signed no prenup or nothing else. Trust me, I'm gonna take your ass for everything you fucking got.
Right.
You gonna walk out with nothing, bitch.
Her name, everything is in mine.
Bitch, you's a lie. Cause see why you
That's not a prenup.
okay.
That's not a prenup.
That's not a prenup. It ain't no prenup.
Well,
See,
really,
you know
she
what?
deserves half.
It's all good because later I'm not a dumb bitch. Just because I was a stripper and a prostitute don't mean shit. Because we have a joint account. Plus I have a separate account. And I've been transferring money out your You ain't that bitch gonna be out in the street. Cause oh baby, you don't check the finances. I do. You don't go and pay the bills. I do. I take care of everything. Like I ain't got to have now. I ain't got to have it.
Can I say something?
Yes.
Welcome to the neighborhood.
I'm gonna be the only bitch in the neighborhood, but that's alright, cause what you been doing, I've been joining over here on Carolina dating terrorist twin brother. So it don't matter nothing.
Oh.
Yes. White man.
So you're
white man.
I forgot to tell you.
Yes. So it ain't bother me. Now, bitch, what?
This is too much
So
for
what
you.
do you say? This is your wife. She just admitted to you that she's been having an affair. She can have
You damn skipping.
Why?
And when we get home, I'm gonna chuck shit up out the house. And the same way I set that bitch hair on fire, I set your shit on fire. Who won't? What that damn like that? Somebody give me some.
We don't want that anymore. We don't want that
damn drum. You don't know. You don't know. You ain't gonna do shit.
Sandora.
Look, I ain't no woman big.
I don't worry about what the fuck you do.
Are you all look? Jazz.
Yes.
You ain't gonna be
You all
that
been
to him.
together for quite
I
some
pulled it
time.
good.
Can y'all resolve this?
Hell no.
So,
Why
Hell
is it
no.
over? Are you going to skinny bitting? You want to go from one prostitute to another?
I probably with somebody else.
He gonna be broke. He gonna be in a project. Honey, what, my friend Flo will be able to damn see him across the street because she said she going back here be across the street from her ass. What now, bitch? What now? He be laying in one of them damn shades that you know that got the bathroom inside the bathroom. Let's where his ass to be. Lord, and I'm gonna take y'all ladies out on his shit. Break now. Hey, did you need me to buy everything for your baby? Wait a minute, bitch, I ain't right. I got enough money now. Wait a minute now. Oh, baby, look.
Well, we know somebody you been getting.
Baby shower gifts. Baby shower gifts. Yes, ma'am.
So y'all are not gonna resolve. It's over.
It's over.
Well, we hope that you all try to get it together. Are you taking care of this baby?
Yes, I am.
You're a good father. So, but why do you think you could not come to her and tell her?
So he a low down dirty dog.
Dirty dog.
But it's all good though. I ain't mad. Cause like I said, I got the money. I control everything. I ain't no prenup for nothing else. Bitch, I got you. I got you. Even the damn suit you got on, honey, I got that. You ain't got shit, bitch. My Lord. Black fucker.
We're gonna return and we're gonna have another castmate to come on. Miss Hattie Pearl will join us.
Yes.
Miss Hattie Pearl.
Lord, my sister here. My sister here. Oh,
Yes.
Oh, my God.
Bring all that shit on that truck.
Lord.
Miss Maddie Pearl
Here you go,
will
your
join
shoe,
us
honey.
shortly. Come back to the April
Let
Raw
me know
show.
if you need
Right here.
Thank you.
Housewives of Alabama, who keeps talking. Come back to us.
We need some doctors on staff.
The biggest station in the world, playing all of today's hits. You're listening to Instinct Radio.
And we're back. We let you look at a little bit of the Housewives of Alabama. Sim Griggs Productions, you guys, you know, I love this show. If you haven't seen it, we're going to actually start showing it this Saturday on right here on Instinct Radio. We're going to start with episode 1 of Housewives of Alabama by Sim Griggs Productions. When I tell you those guys, oh my God, they when I tell people all the time, all my clients are crazy, but this right here is off the chain. I actually love this show. Trying to get them to do some more seasons of it. So, you know, but I want you guys to tune in this Saturday from 10 to midnight. We're going to actually show the first couple of episodes of the Housewives of Alabama. So, you know, make sure you tune in for that. So, we had some questions that popped up. You know, I really wasn't going through the questions right now because I was, you know, into all of this. But they want to know when the uncooked class is scheduled and what's the cost.
Okay. So we're having an uncooking class next Saturday, the 18th, and it is from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. The cost is $45. You're going to learn how to make a cashew almond nut loaf and a batch of raw collard greens and a sweet potato pie, all raw, giving you something a little different to add to your Thanksgiving meal, your menu.
Okay.
Yeah.
Y'all don't know nothing about her. She is off the chain. Did she say she gonna make a pie? And it ain't cooked?
You know, this is the thing. Our creativity is so vast.
Yeah.
If it's something you like, you can make it any kind of way you want.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? So when I became a raw foodist, there were not really many recipe books around. So I took dishes that I enjoyed that were cooked. And I said, well, how can I make it raw? So, for example, the dish that I have now at the restaurant that's very popular is called sweet coconut corn. Well, that's a combination of two recipes from my mother. My mother used to make cream corn, and she used to make sweet corn. So, of course, she had, the milk in it and all the butter and everything and the different ones. And so I said, well, okay, since I'm vegan, how can I make it so it's tasty? So instead of cream, I use coconut cream. Instead of the sugar, I use agave. And I use a little bit of heat from red Thai chili peppers, a little bit of undercurrent flavor from some scallions. So one of the things that makes my raw food so delicious is that I have layers of flavor. And I also put things together in ways that most people wouldn't think about doing. As an artist, because I got my degree actually in fine arts. And so I do a lot of food preparation according to how it looks too. Again, so I start with the best quality ingredients, but I may say, okay, well, as in the case of the corn, well, this is yellow and white. This is kind of boring. Let me add a little color to it. So I'm doing the red Thai chili peppers. Now, first I experimented with the red bell peppers, but it didn't have the right blend, so then the Thai chili peppers. So, if a person doesn't want it really hot, they just can move the chili peppers out the way. The flavor is in there, but they don't have to have that bite if they are not into spicy food. And so it's not really spicy unless you bite into it, into the pepper.
Okay.
And then I was like, okay, well, red and yellow and white, that's still kind of boring. It needs something else. So let me put some greens in here. So I knew the bell pepper wasn't going to work. Right. So I said, okay, let me try some scallions. So that went in. And so now it's a very bright yellow, white, and green and red. When people put the food on their plates or when they bite into their wraps, they get a chance to experience healing through colors as well as textures and the layers of flavor and the taste.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So tell us what a normal Thanksgiving is in your house with your relatives that aren't vegan.
So if I'm here in Atlanta in the A with my son and my daughter and my fam like that, then we have raw food and we have cooked food. It's all vegan, but they might have some tofurkey that's stuffed with dressing, but it just won't have oysters in it. Like my mother used to make a really good oyster dressing, stuffing. And so I just don't put the oysters in it. Okay. I don't put egg in it because it doesn't necessarily need it. I would soak it maybe in almond milk or rice milk or coconut milk, depending on how the flavor goes. Use Earth Balance. It's a non-hydrogenated margarine. Okay. So it's actually good for you. You taste it. And if you don't want to use margarine, you can use olive oil, a little salt. So there are all kind of ways. And if you're really a chef, then it's about being fearless in the kitchen. Fearless with your spices. Because let's face it, you're not going to eat raw meat. You're going to want it to be cooked and you're going to want it to have some seasoning on it. So it's really about the spices. Right. And if you know how to do it, if you know how to marinate it and saute, then you can make it any kind of way you want. Even though my mother wasn't vegetarian, she, as the president of the Hypertension Council in San Diego many years ago, she would go around doing food demos and teaching people how to season their food without using salt. And so she would use fresh garlic. She would use lemon, vinegar. And it is, again, just about people being open to explore new ways of doing things. And why not? When we know that the old way has produced ailment, everybody has somebody in their family that's got high blood pressure, that's got heart disease, that's got cancer. So when does the buck stop? When does it stop? It could stop with you, or me or someone else. And you could decide that you want to change the course of the almost inevitable, almost certain future which is to die painfully. Because people say, oh, I'm going to die anyway. Well, yeah, but do you want to be miserable on the way there? You know, I personally want to be around well into my hundreds. I have family members that were centurions. You know, I had an uncle who actually ate what he wanted, smoked what he wanted, drank what he wanted. He lived till he was 92. He drove until he was 91. Now, I may not have wanted to be in the car with him, you know, and he pretty much stayed in the neighborhood. But, you know, he had a massive stroke. And when he realized that he was not going to have his independence, he left. He was like, I'm out. And so he just died. They told him, yo, you can't move. He was like, okay, I'm out. So, you know, there are people that have that kind of a constitution. They can do whatever they want. Right. You know, and I couldn't deny that when I chose to be a raw foodist. I said, well, why are there people who can do whatever and still be healthy? And people who are healthy, who eat healthy and still have issues. Well, then I had to look at, well, what is a person's spiritual diet? Right. What is their relationship to the Creator? Okay. Again, I'm not saying you got to be anything that I do, but as long as you have a healthy relationship with the Maker of all of this, and you strive to do right by other people, and do you pick up the trash in your neighborhood, on the street? Are you mean? Are you dogging out other people quietly in your mind? You know what I'm saying? Are you not paying your bills on time? I mean, I didn't always do everything like I was supposed to. And part of me was rebellious. I was self-employed. I'm not paying taxes. What? It's illegal. You know, so that habit was something that transferred when I became a business owner. And that don't work. Okay? So I had to do a 180 in a whole lot of ways, because what I was able to get by with being self-employed, I could not do as a business owner. Totally different mindset, totally different reality. So when we're striving to come up, then it behooves us to come up on all levels. Because when you eat better, you feel better. When you feel better, you think better. When you think better, you make better choices. Thus, you're in a position to improve the quality of your life. You feel me on that?
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, so.
She preaching this day, y'all.
Somebody. But this is the energy that goes into your food. Like I said, it's full of love. And we don't judge people. So my vibe is, a lot of my customers, they'll come in, and some of them, they'll say, oh, I'm getting ready to go to Thanksgiving. Or I'm getting ready to go to 4th of July. I got to get my kale, and I got to get this. And, you know, because my people ain't going to have nothing for me to eat. So I say, yeah, I know. But then why don't you get some kale and bring it for your fam? Exactly. And they're like, no, they not going to eat it. I said, why? Because they not going to eat anything vegetarian. I said, don't tell them. Don't put the label on it. Yeah. Just say this is kale salad. Mm-hmm. And if they eat salad, all they got to do is taste it. I already know. I make the best kale salad in the world. That is. What? And so I said, so put it right in between the ribs and the coleslaw. They look at me like, what? I said, why not? Right. I stand on the quality of my product. So let them taste it. And you just keep putting it in there little by little. After a while, they'll make up their mind on their own that they're going to want more. Because when you preaching at people, they don't want to hear that. That's true. I don't even want to hear it when people try to get on me about something. First of all, I probably already know anyway, and I'm just choosing to do something different, right? Exactly. So just in the spirit of balance, because one of your guests, who may come up here.
Yeah, she's still on the scared side over there.
Right, she was saying she did a 40-day raw food experience, and she wanted something cold, and I mean something hot. And I said to her, well, I'm not 100% raw foodist anyway, because the reality is I live in Atlanta, and it's cold outside right now. Okay, so I want something hot. To me, it's about being practical. I've done the extremes on both sides, you know, and if you're in an environment that, first of all, isn't even supporting you eating a natural diet, then, of course, it's even harder if you're trying to be vegan or raw. So be practical.
Right.
When I started out, I said I would be 98% raw. I would leave that 2% for life. If I wanted something hot, I'm going to have it. And I don't want to feel guilty, and I don't want nobody else trying to make me feel guilty.
Right.
Because that's what I want. That's what my body is craving for.
And a lot of people do that, though. They look at when you tell them what you're trying to do, people try to low rate what you're trying to do. And I don't believe in that, because at the end of the day, I have my own way I want to do something. It's just like you have your own way of doing something. But you still have to have your mind open to experience new things. You don't never know. My mama used to say, you never know what you like if you don't try it. So you have to try it. You know, I tried doing the Daniel fast. It didn't work. But that doesn't mean that I haven't stopped exploring, you know,
new ways
of eating and stuff like that. And you're right about, you know, having your family members just try it, because I know I stopped buying Kool-Aid and stuff like that in my home when my kids were little, and they still don't drink it, you know. So it's you know, it's just, you know, little things. It might not be a lot of stuff, but just little things that you can switch around and change, and people can look at that.
You know, there is a drink called sorrel. It comes out of the Caribbean, and it's hibiscus flowers. And if you make sorrel, it's everything Kool-Aid, Hawaiian punch, and fruit punch wished it could be. Okay? Because it's naturally high in vitamin C.
Okay.
If you sweeten it with honey or agave, the children don't know.
Right.
All they want is something sweet to drink.
Right.
So here it is, natural. It's red naturally. So they're happy.
Okay.
You feel me?
Exactly.
Most of the time, children don't know. They get their habits from their parents.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
And so one of the things I try to share with people in the spirit of practicality is to begin to know yourself first. Okay? Because we're so programmed to do what our family always did, or what the commercials on television say, or what we're addicted to. So the vibration is one where I say, get to know you. You're the only person you're going to be with your whole life.
Right.
You're born by yourself, and you're going to die by yourself.
Exactly.
Anybody else coming through is just that. They passing through.
Exactly.
So it would behoove you, again, to get to know you. So how do you feel? Let's start taking note. How do you feel when you eat certain food? How do you feel when you don't? And don't judge yourself.
Right.
Just observe. You know, what are you thinking about when you're craving the red velvet cake? Did you just have a fight with your boyfriend? Did you just wreck your car? Or are you celebrating that you got a raise? Maybe you got engaged. Don't judge yourself. Just observe. So you start to get to know your own habits and patterns. Then you can make conscious choices about what you want to do. So I suggest to people that you just keep it simple and choose life. So what that looks like, an apple or orange over a bag of potato chips. You may say, well, I don't like grapes. Okay, don't eat them. There's a whole bunch of other fruit out there that you can choose from that you do like. So, and if 9 out of the 10 times you have had your apple or orange, then on the 10th time, have that bag of daggone potato chips.
Exactly.
You know, because reward yourself for doing something good. Also, I suggest to people that it looks like a glass of water or a glass of juice over Coca-Cola or Sprite, you know, or over your coffee. Have some tea.
Right.
Something that your body's going to be able to digest better. And what I do for my meat eaters, I suggest to them that you begin to honor your body's natural digestive cycle. So what that looks like is, it's going to take you 2 whole days to digest fish flesh. 2 full days. So don't eat it for 2 days. It's going to take you 3 days to fully digest red meat, any other kind of red flesh. So if you're honoring that and you're only eating it every 2 to 3 days, that means you're only eating it a couple times a week. 3 times a week. Which now means you can afford the best quality, because you're only buying it 2 or 3 times a week.
Right.
So yes, the free range, the corn-fed, the grass-fed, those are real animals that get to walk around and eat real food. That's going to be healthier for you than that other stuff.
Right.
Okay, so when you're doing that and you're honoring your body's natural digestive cycle, then you're not getting constipated. You're not having, what is that, shaky leg syndrome. You're not on your aspirator because you're eating meat that's been shot up with all these antibiotics and steroids and all of that. You know, because that's usually what people are reacting to. The dyes, the hormones, the steroids, the antibiotic. Not even the meat. It's all that other crap they putting in there.
Exactly.
You know? So on that tip, what that then looks like on your plate is you eating 75 to 80% fresh, raw, leafy greens and vegetables. So that could be a full plate of a salad with, again, your greens, your spinach, your kale, your lettuce, your romaine. Not iceberg, people. Iceberg has no nutritional value. Right. It's a filler. Okay? So you put that, you may shred up some carrots, shred up some beets. If you like it. If you don't like that, put on there what you like. Okay? Then you're going to get maybe a cup of whatever cooked food you want. Put that in the middle. So now 2/3 or 1/4 of your plate has your cooked foods and your meat.
All right.
You getting it in.
Okay.
Having your proverbial cake or steak and eat it too.
Exactly. So if you guys have any questions, make sure you call in or text in 478-569-6474, and just let her know what it is that you, because I know you got some questions, because I'm sitting up here like, oh my gosh, she is really giving us a lot more knowledge than what we were actually expecting, because you know, you never know who you're going to pull up on my show. So we're going to take a 2-second break. We're going to pull Belinda up here so she can do this taste test with us, because you know she brought us something to eat. Yes, she did.
Yes, I did.
And we got some more questions for her, because she is just not a restaurant. It's just not a restaurant. She is more than that, just that. So you know, give us 2 seconds and we'll be right back.
The biggest station in the world, playing all of today's hits. You're listening to Instinct Radio.
I'm way far from perfect. Your trust, I don't deserve it, but I'm not gonna play with you. We've been on and off lately, but don't hesitate, please, cause I don't want someone new. I don't wanna see you with no one else. Girl, that's all mine, I want it all to myself. I got trust issues, can you give me some help? I want you, baby girl, is that hard to tell? Oh, just tryna get close to you. Oh yeah, tryna get close to you. Oh baby, I'm tryna get close to you. I've been inconsistent, ignoring your feelings. I'm so inconsiderate. You're questioning Raina and even Sharia, but please don't be so upset. Why you throwing all this upset me? Girl, just be sure and let go of your insecurities. I cheated, but two girls can be my baby. Girl, don't give up, can you just promise you won't leave? Oh.
The biggest station in the world, playing all of today's hits. You're listening to Instinct Radio.
Exercise. There's some fat vegetarians out there that way overweight.
Yes,
like I said, I had become a starchitarian, and although I wasn't overweight, my fingers were stiff and painful.
Okay, and we back. We got some of our guest audience up here with me. My girl Belinda and Eugene.
That's right.
See, I got the names right. They coming up here to help me with this taste test, because you know she brought us something. But before we even get to the pie. It's a pie. Before we even get to that, tell people about your the Oracle got everything. The Oracle has everything. But tell people about it's yoga.
Yes, we have a yoga center above the restaurant, the I Am Ascension Temple, and we teach several styles of yoga. I teach Kundalini yoga on Wednesdays from 5 to 6:30, and then we have yoga fellowship, which is primarily Egyptian yoga, and that's from 7 to 8:30. Both of those classes are free. We have a class Saturday morning from 10 to 11:30. Excuse me. This bug is trying to catch me. We also have yoga certification on Sundays. We have financial wealth building from the Moorish Science Temple Sunday mornings. And we'll be coming out with our new calendar for next year in December. So we're excited about it. Because, again, it's about, not only nourishing the body, but the mind, too. And I wanted to also stress the importance of exercise. Whether you're walking or shooting hoop or dancing, swimming, it's about balance. It's also important, aside from having a healthy relationship with the Creator, which I already touched on, that we heal emotionally. Our people want to hold on to grudges from all the wrong people. The people closest to us, we want to hate and be mad at and not speak to forever. And the people who are oppressing us, we love them.
Right.
But our family member, our family members, our friends, the people who have been there, yeah, they may have messed up, but haven't you?
Exactly.
Haven't we all messed up? Don't we all live in glass houses? Right. So who's going to really cast the first stone? And at what point can we just forgive? Because we would want to be forgiven. Right. And when we do that and correct ourselves, starting with ourselves first, it allows us to be able to look at ourselves in the mirror. It allows us to be able to go to sleep at night without having angst about who we are and how we present ourselves in the world. And then it's also important to look at the quality of our friends, the character of the people we spend time with. Because if you're around people who complain all the time, people who dog other folk out again, and you may say, well, I don't do that. Well, guess what? It's about to be your turn. Exactly. You about to get dogged out too. Exactly. So the old saying, birds of a feather flock together, is real. Because if you're around people who are always building others up, always edifying, always encouraging, always compassionate, always critical in their thinking, but not necessarily sharp with their tongue, but straightforward, then that provides an opportunity for all of us to grow. And like I tell many of our customers at the restaurant, we love the accolades all day long, all night long too, sing our praise. But when you can give us constructive feedback in areas where we need to tighten up, that may be a blind spot that we needed to know about that's going to help make us provide better service. So please let us know. And I also wanted to speak more on the Raw Alchemy on Cooking class. It's going to be at Seven Under, which is one of our local community-owned health food stores. It's in Little Five Points. And, you can actually be a member of Seven Under. Actually own your health. Own the store that's providing food for you. How many people can say they own the place that's providing their food? Cool. Because unless you got stock in Kroger, I promise you don't own it. That's or right. Publix. That's true. Or Whole Foods. Right. And so now if you do have stock in it, I ain't mad at you because that means you handling your financial business. Exactly. And any place that you spending that kind of money in, you should begin to invest so that you're getting return on your investment. Okay.
So let the audience know what it is that you brought here for us to taste.
So I brought a raw sweet potato pie, and
so Eugene said that's what I'm talking about.
And it's made with fresh raw organic sweet potatoes.
All right.
Organic pecans. Now, organic pecans may just come from the tree in your backyard.
Okay, I was just going to say, because we used to have a pecan tree in the backyard, too.
We grew up with them. My grandfather, I grew up in California, so we had avocados and oranges and stuff in our backyard. But my grandfather used to have 3 pecan trees. And this time of year, he would be sending us boxes of pecans,
right.
you know. And now, oh my God, you're going to pay like $7 for a little quarter-pound bag of pecans.
Exactly,
It's crazy.
exactly.
But we have pecans. We have coconut oil. It's sweetened with apple pie spice. We have maple syrup. I should say it's seasoned with apple pie spice. It's sweetened with maple syrup.
Okay.
And the crust is pecan and flax, flax meal.
Okay.
I recommend flax meal over flax seed because unless you have a coffee grinder, flax seed is very hard to grind up in your blender.
Yeah.
Flax is a very good substitute for flour, you know, and it's a very good binder. So if you mix it with something, you know, you can use it in place of eggs.
Okay.
And I also added a little olive oil to it and a pinch of salt because salt really helps flavors pop. And this is not for people who are on diabetic medication, not diabetic, hypertension medication and have an excuse to have a bunch of salty food. But salt is not really the culprit. It's processed food. It's your chemically produced salts, not your natural salts. Because in fact, salt actually works in the body to blend the vitamins and minerals that we take in.
Okay.
If your body ain't producing salt or you're not getting it from the foods, then your body can't even process the vitamins you may be taking.
Right.
And that's something. But people will be going on and on about how they can't have salt in their diet. But many vegetables just have salt in them naturally.
Right.
So if we can get a little knife.
That's what she went and got
working it out.
Now, Eugene, I think I heard you say that you are vegan.
Well, no, my wife and I, we were vegan for about 2.5 years.
Okay.
How did that work for you?
It actually worked really well. And the way it came about, we were rollerblading, and she fell and tore her MCL in her knee and broke her wrist. And so the doctor said that part of the challenge was she was overweight. That's why, you know, she kind of fell a little bit harder than she needed to fall. And so, you know, he said you need to change your diet. But of course, she was broken up, so it's not like she can exercise. So we looked at the vegan lifestyle. So we started doing it. I mean, she dropped some good amount of weight in a really short period of time without working out. And then once she was able to, we started working out. So it just got good from there.
That's what's up.
And then you said you stopped.
We did. We got pregnant.
Well, that'll take care of it right there.
And then you know, we had some cravings.
Yes, that will do it.
We got to get back to that.
Hey. So you actually like being vegan?
I did. I enjoyed it. Yep. And I mean, it doesn't hurt that she is a chef. You know,
Okay.
So.
Oh well, so you got one. You got her in the house.
Right.
Okay. Now that.
Right.
Hey,
Because if it was up to me by myself,
it'd be a whole different story.
Right.
So, you know, one of the things that kept me from being a raw foodist back in the mid-'80s when I first tried it, when I first learned about it, was the fact that it took so long. The man I learned from was like into stuff taking all night, all day, you know, in the kitchen for hours. And I was like, no, I can't do that. I'm self-employed. I got children. I'm active in their lives. No, it's not going to work. You have your forks?
Yes.
Okay. And so when I recognized that I had to do this, you know, I had to do something different, I said, well, what is going to allow me to be able to do this and keep this up?
Right.
Okay. Because that's where a lot of times people fall short. They'll have these high, lofty goals, but they're not practical. The minute you hit a bump in the road, you're back to square one, you know, and sometimes it's even harder to get back if you know, want to try to start it again because of, I don't know what that is. It says harder when you backslide. But
You got one more under here.
Oh, thank you. And so I looked at, like I said, what I already ate and tried to figure out what I could do. So as a vegan, I was already buying my food fresh. I was already prepping it. I was already marinating it most of the time, but I was marinating it so I could bake it, or marinating it so I could stir fry it, or marinating it so I could saute it. And I realized, oh wow, you know what? I could skip a whole step,
Right.
and that's the cooking.
Okay.
And so I found that it was done in 15 minutes or less. And over 90% of my dishes are done in 15 minutes or less.
Okay.
And I have a uncooked book, quick and easy raw food recipes in 15 minutes or less, for people who are on the go.
Okay.
They want to try it. They don't have time, or they don't know how, so I keep it very simple.
Okay. And they can get that off the website as well?
Yes,
Cool.
and or they can come to the restaurant either.
All right.
Okay.
Well, we going to try this pie.
Y'all all have your forks?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
All right. All right. I actually like it. So, go down to her restaurant, because if she can make this taste good, she can do a lot of stuff. So, yeah, this is real good. Oracle, you want to try some of the pie? Okay. Yes. Well, Mr. Eugene, he ain't going to have nothing to say. He already going back to vegan. Look, he going back to being vegan in a couple of weeks. What you think, Belinda?
It's good. Because, when she said sweet potato, she already had my ear. Because that's my favorite.
Exactly.
So, I was probably going to be the most critical sitting here.
I know, that's why I made you come up here.
Well, originally I thought it was like a pecan pie.
Right.
So,
yeah, because when I looked at it, when you had it, when you was coming in, I was like, did she make pecan pie? What, trying to figure it out. You know how we do, trying to figure out something. But I am so glad that you actually answered my message and came up here today and really enlightened all of us on so much. Oh my gosh, she gave us so much knowledge today and fed us some good food. So, make sure you go down to the Raw Reality. Look, I'm going to call it Empire, because she does everything. Oh, my God. When I say she does everything, she does everything. Make sure you follow her. We're going to have all of the links in the Kandie Undisputed page on Facebook. And thank you guys so much for tuning in today and joining me on my second Sunday. It's always me here only on second Sunday. So make sure that you check me out on YouTube, and we're going to let you tell everybody how to get in touch with you.
Thank you. We're at 1059 Ralph David Abernathy in the historic West End. It's a big 2-story yellow house, and we're open 7 days a week from 11 to 9, Sunday through Thursday, 11 to 10, Friday and Saturday. And if you're interested in coming to the uncooking class, it's next Saturday, the 18th, from 11 to 2. I think that's the right time. Yes, 11 to 2. It's at 7 Nanda. It's $45, and you're going to have a lot of fun. You'll be able to eat the food and get the recipe printed out so you can go home and try it. And if you've never had raw food before, it's a taste experience, because most of the time people think of raw as being a carrot or an apple. Yeah. And so, you can be open to just try something different and to, experience different tastes, different textures, different seasonings, and just really, really enjoy being healthy deliciously.
All right.
That's what's up.
Well, once again, like I said, thank you guys so much for tuning in. And once again, to Kandie Undisputed. We always here on Instinct Radio. I'll be here second Sunday in December. As you know, it'll be December the 10th. And we're actually going to be doing a segment on men health. We're going to have Dr. Warren in here on that day. So 5 to 7, Eastern Standard Time, I'll be here. But before then, because, it was like, oh, my God, it's next month. Yeah, it's next month for you to see me. But we have, 4 shows here on Instinct. So this Saturday night, we will be showing The Real Housewives of Alabama, Sim Bridge Productions. You're going to get to see the first episode. Oh, my God. When I say you're going to be laughing, you're going to be laughing. I'm telling you. So make sure you got you some popcorn. Well, no, because you might choke by laughing. So make sure you got some. Might not need to drink nothing while you're looking at it either. How about this? Get you some tissue because you're going to be crying because you're going to be laughing just that hard, you know. But make sure you tune in to Instinct Radio. You can check us out on the first and third Saturday night is Kandie Promotions pop-ups. The second and fourth Saturday night we got Damian Leaks. Oh my God, that's another crazy show that you need to check out. Rockstar Life, the show is on the second and fourth, and both of those shows are from 10 p.m. to midnight Eastern Standard Time. And on the second and fourth Thursday night from 8 p.m. to 10, check out the Go Live show with Squirt Go Live and Erica Duchess. Once again, I am Kandie. Check me out on all my links, www.leaveittocandy.com, candypromotions.com. I'm on everything. You know, don't look for me on Twitter too much because I ain't really into that tweeting thing. I leave that to y'all, President.
I know. Right?
But yeah, check us out. Look up I Am Kandie. Go to Facebook. Type in I Am Kandie. And you'll find your girl, and I will hook you up with all kind of stuff. So once again, enjoy your day. Thank you for coming and listening to us, and I'll see y'all Saturday.
The biggest station in the world, playing all of today's hits. You're listening to Instinct Radio.